Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mellow Monday. It is a mellow morning out here. Oh, it's slightly overcast, but it's going to be a beautiful day. It's cool now, but it's going to be nice, and it's going to get hot by the middle of this week. So get ready to take your coats off. They're not going to be staying on much longer. Mellow Monday, looking at the Psalms that we have coming up every week. This week, it's Psalm 16. It's a psalm that appears fairly often throughout the Revised Common Lectionary, most especially during the Easter season. And why? Well, let me read the passage. Therefore, my heart is glad and my soul rejoices. My body also rests secure, for you do not give me up to Sheol or let your faithful one see the pit. Now, Peter, in one of his resurrection sermons in the book of Acts, uses these verses right here for part of his sermon, referring to Jesus having died and now risen from the dead. So that's kind of why it pops up a lot. But it's also the fact that it's a psalm that talks about an intensely personal relationship with Yahweh, with God. That's what the psalmist is relating all the way through. So it became a very popular psalm for people going to the temple to recite, because it is one in which you make only one instance of imploring God to do something for you, and then the rest of it is really a psalm of praise, thanking God for. It's kind of uncertain in the way the Hebrew was written, and maybe that was on purpose too, whether that person has now obtained that kind of relief from God or is anticipating it. All right? Protect me, O God, for in you I take refuge. And that's it. It's the only verse that implores God to be there for the person. I say to the Lord, you are my Lord. I have no good apart from you. In other words, it's all about you, Yahweh. It's all about you. And the psalm goes on. It's all in the first person. And also talking about God as well, the you part. But the I's, the me's, the my's, all those first person, they're all gender neutral in the Hebrew. But here's the interesting thing. When you get to the Masoretic text, which is the text that was used much later in Judaism, it's all in the feminine terms. So there's this indication that quite possibly women are the ones that were attracted to this psalm, women that were going through difficult times in their lives, but now they find their refuge in God, especially in this very intensely personal relationship. So you need to read it over and over and over. It's only 11 verses long, and I would suggest that that's what you do. Just keep on reading it. You see different images that pop up in there. It talks about, like in verses 3 and 4, finding your fellowship amongst those who are also seeking God. As for the holy ones in the land, they are the noble, in whom is all my delight. So I spend my time with them. But hey, those who choose another God, it says in verse 4, they multiply their sorrows. They drink offerings of blood. There's some bad stuff going on here. I will not pour out or take their names upon my lips. I'm not going to get involved in their rituals whatsoever. So, good. That's a good thing. And the Lord becomes my chosen portion and my cup. You hold my lot, God. Everything is in your hands. And I'm putting my total trust in you. And the boundary lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. I have a goodly heritage. What's that? Well, it's a reference to once the people entered the promised land, they were all given lots of land in order to farm. Everyone got a piece of the action. God gives us a piece of the action. We have that one-on-one relationship with him. That's not only one-on-one, but it does spread out to the community as well. And so we're all in a good place. God gives me good counsel. I can trust that he's going to guide my ways, guide my feet. I keep the Lord always before me. See, again, You lead the way, God. You lead the way, because he is at my right hand. Wait a minute. Not only is he leading the way, he's right beside me. He's walking right next to me. And because of that, I won't be moved. Therefore, my heart is glad, my soul rejoices. That is where we find our happiness. That's where we find contentment. Now, it would be very easy to turn this whole psalm into a psalm of, well, if I just do the right things and I say the right words, God's going to bless me immensely and I'm going to have all kind of good stuff. Don't go there, okay? That's not what it's saying. You'd have to go all the way back to verse 1. Protect me, O God, for in you I take refuge. So in other words, I'm kind of in some trouble and I need your help. This is a psalm that is imploring God to keep watch over the psalmist. And when that happens, I'm putting my total trust and my faith in you. It's not that, okay, I have it made now, made in the shade, so I know that you like me, God, and maybe not those other people, but no, that's not what this psalm is about. It is a psalm that says, I know, God, that if I do trust you, you'll be there for me. You're walking right by my side. You show me the path of life, and it's in your presence that I find fullness of joy. In your right hand are the pleasures forevermore. Cool psalm. Go ahead, read it over 2-3 times this morning. It will fill your heart with joy. God's blessings be with you on this Mellow Monday.